Hello, and welcome to our SOLD workshop on student organization funding. My name is Amanda Zimmerman, and I'm the coordinator for student organizations that does event and advisor support. Today, we're going to talk generally about fundraising, the Eagles Nest Fund, the RALP Travel Grant Fund, student activities funding, and some budgeting basics. When you think of fundraising, a lot of people automatically think of that like cookie dough fundraiser from middle school or high school that you did for like band. But there's a lot of other ways that you can fundraise or gather income for your organization. When you look at fundraising internally, this can look like having membership fees or dues that are required of members to participate in various events. Be sure that you're communicating clearly what that money that they're paying is being used for so that they feel as though their money is being used in a positive way. This is also a great way to gain member engagement by letting them be part of the conversation and having them feel included in the planning process. Next, when you start to think about some external type fundraising activities, this usually looks like asking for donations, whether that's donations of money from alumni, from community members, etc., or asking for physical donations such as cookies from a store or bakery for a meeting or something that you're having. Next, you can host give back nights or profit shares. This is a really popular thing to do, and you partner with local businesses, or even some will do online give back nights or give back days where you're able to get a portion of the profits that are made from any orders where somebody uses your flyer, somebody uses your code or anything like that. It depends on the business. And then next, you can also find sponsors for different events. If you're having a larger event, this can look like having local sponsors from around the community that have donated money in exchange for promoting their item or promoting their sales at your event, as well as potentially having you promote them either on social media, on a t-shirt, on flyers, etc. Both of these kinds of fundraising are super important in making sure that your organization is able to function and have a large or a decent sized operating budget. And it's important to remember as you fundraise to set goals. These goals can look like having an end goal of having $10,000 raised by the end of the year, or it can look like smaller goals as well, like by the end of this month, I want $100 raised or something like that. Next, it's important to remember why you're fundraising and practice how to communicate that with other people. If you're just raising money and you don't know how to articulate that you're raising it for your organization or you're raising it for a philanthropic cause or anything like that, people are less likely to want to donate you if you're just like, oh, we're just raising money for my org, haha. And so practice how you would ask other people for money, practice how you would ask for donations, practice how you would ask for sponsorships, etc., so that you're able to clearly communicate what your organization's end goals are. Next, remember to stay organized, keep track of any communication with companies, with other people, keep track of all of the money that's coming in and any money that you have going out. Next, identify partners. This could be identifying alumni that you have a good relationship with and you know that you can contact on a regular basis, but this can also just look like having those regular community partners that you know will collaborate with you and you've worked with in the past and it went well. Last, be sure to follow up and follow through. If you're raising money for a specific cause, make sure that that money is actually going to that cause. But also if there's someone that asks for a receipt or a confirmation that you received their donation, be sure to actually provide that for them so that they are able to keep their records kept and everything like that. Now we'll transition over into some of the different opportunities for assistance on campus in terms of organization funding. We have two from the Student Government Association and one from Student Activities. So SGA's first assistance program is the Eagles Nest program, which is used for on-campus events that are open to everyone or all students and serve for the betterment of campus. This fund is able to be applied for by all registered student organizations that don't accept student service fee funds. And the process of Eagles Nest application is attending a resource meeting that's led by the Student Government Association, submitting your application through OrgSync at least 4 weeks in advance, getting that advisor and president approval on the application, the same as you do on the event application. Next, presenting to the allocations committee. Once you present it to the allocations committee, they'll have a closed deliberation where they decide if they're going to allot you funds, and if so, how much they are going to award you. Once you are awarded funds, the items that you have requested, whether they're through Amazon, Walmart, or it's an invoice for a DJ or other vendor, will get paid, and you'll do that through submitting your purchase request forms. In general, some things to keep in mind is that SGA Eagles Nest cannot fund prizes. It cannot fund like meta or social media ads, and it can also not fund anything that is illegal or anything like that, clearly. And then we also cannot pay students for services. So if your DJ happens to also be a student, we wouldn't be able to pay them since they're a UNT student. There's more information in the resource meeting, so if you're interested, I highly recommend attending one just so that you have all of the information ahead of time. The second SGA funding opportunity is the RALP Travel Grant. The RALP Travel Grant is a reimbursement program that assists students and students in registered student organizations to attend conferences that benefit the student themselves and the UNT community. Students are eligible to receive one award per semester of up to $750, and there is a maximum of $3,000 that can be awarded per conference. The process for the RALP Travel Grant is very similar to the Eagles Nest, where you attend that resource meeting, submit an application, get the thumbs up of your advisor and president if it's related to a student organization, present to the committee, and then after you have attended the conference, you will upload your itemized receipts and complete that final reimbursement form to get reimbursed. Next, the Student Activities org funding is for registered student organizations that do not receive student service fee funding to purchase items for the betterment of that student organization. And these items that they are purchasing are not eligible to be covered by Eagles Nest or the RALP Travel Grant as well. So all registered student organizations that don't accept student service fee funding are eligible to apply using the form on OrgSync that is titled 2023-2024 Student Org Funding Request. Some items that you are able to request through Student Activities org funding are promotional items such as table covers, stickers, buttons, or any other item that you can use during tabling. Meeting supplies such as a gavel, if your organization would like that. Organizational t-shirts, as well as potentially an organizational book or some sort of workbook. Now we're going to shift over into the basics of budgeting. When you're practicing good budgeting skills, you should think about your timeline, the levels or lenses that you're going to be using when budgeting, and how you're going to record keep. Student organizations should create or complete a budget annually. Incoming and outgoing officers and advisors should be included in this conversation, and the budget should be shared and agreed upon by the membership. When you're looking at the budget, there is an overall budget that you can have that covers all of the operating budget and all of the different things that the budget can pay for. Next, there is a positional budget that breaks it down based on the position. There's a program budget where you have a budget for a specific topic, such as development. And then you can also have event budgets where you break down an event for one specific budget, and that could be a social event, a family weekend event, etc. Now, it's important to keep track of expenditures and utilize that information when creating a new budget so that you're making informed decisions as you go into the budgeting process. You should know where your money is coming from and where it is going to, while also keeping track of any administrative costs, such as a Canva subscription. Be sure that you're checking in on your budget throughout the budgeting period. When you're making a budget, here are some things that you should think about. Identify your forms of income and calculate your total income. This includes donations, membership fees, etc. Next, identify your necessary expenditures, such as organizational dues that you might have to pay a larger body, or uniforms that your organization is required to get. Next, be sure to review previous expenditures and spending from the previous fiscal year. Decide on the type of budget that you want to do, whether you want to break it down by position, by topic, or only have a specific event, depending on how big your budget is. Make sure that you're allocating funds and adjust as needed, and then review your budget regularly. Now we're going to go through a few examples of the different types of budgets. The first one is a positional budget. As you can see, it breaks down the position associated with the organization, and then the expenditures attached to that position, as well as the amount of the total that would be purchased or spent on those expenditures. As you can see, it is broken down by new member chair, social chair, academic excellence chair, and public relations. Of course, you can add different officers or any other positions as needed. As we look at the different positions, you can see the different types of items that can be included in a budget, such as pins and polos for new members, new member dinner, new member certificates, mixer supplies, internal event supplies, community service project supplies, study night supplies, gifts for students that get over a 4.0, 3.5 plus GPA certificates, buttons, stickers, ads, Canva account, etc. Next, when you break it down by a topic, examples of those topics are apparel, social events, academic events, and member appreciation. Under apparel, you can see shirts, stickers, hats, etc. Under social events, you can see decorations, food, games. Under academics, you can see snacks, drinks, supplies. Next is member appreciation, where you can see certificates, end-of-year gifts, thank you notes. And then the last budget breakdown is going to be an example of an event breakdown, where you can see there are decorations to be considered, entertainment to be considered, door prizes, food, etc. Here you can see that the decorations are broken down into balloons, a photo backdrop, table decor. Entertainment is broken down into a DJ. The door prizes can include gift cards, UNT related art, a tote bag, whatever you want it to be. And then under food, we have the Verde catering package and put different examples on there. Now, when you really want to get into the full breakdown, we highly recommend having it broken down, specifically saying the balloons. Here's the balloons that we're going to purchase, the link to them, and then here is the exact cost that it's going to be, so that at the end of the event, you're able to have a total report of how much exactly was spent. If you have any questions about student organization funding, fundraising, or organizational budgeting, please feel free to reach out to Student Activities. My email is here on the screen if you'd like to reach out to me at amanda.zimmerman@unt.edu. Thank you so much for coming to our SOLD workshop, and we hope to see you come out to some of our others. Feel free to follow us on social media and stay connected. Thank you.